today I want to share with you the 10 sins of success. Why is it relevant for me to share with you the 10 sins of success? Because some of us, if not a lot of us, have dealt with some of these and are currently dealing with some of these. Now, before you get too judgmental and start saying Frankie's about to kick our butt, I looked up the word sin, and it says an act regarded as a serious or regrettable fault, offense, or omission. Okay? I think when you commit a sin, it's just missing the mark, right? You're throwing a dart at a dartboard and you might miss it, and that would be in the same contents of a sin. I think the more dangerous part is when you let the effects of the sin continue. Right? It's not the sin itself, because we're all going to miss the mark. How many people is in here perfect? Anybody? If you're perfect, let's go ahead and try. I'm going to see if you can walk across my almost built pool. Because if you can, we're going to just sit there and take tickets and sell popcorn and make a lot of money. No one in here is perfect, right? Am I in the right room? I didn't know if I was in the perfect room or not, because if I am, I need to get out of here. Quick. Pull the fire alarm. This thing is about to blow. All right, so nobody in here is perfect. Occasionally, we miss the mark, right? So when we talk about sin or sins, we're talking about missing the mark. So don't get too crazy on using the word sin. But I got to use the word sin, because the thing about sin is it's like a little piece that gets in and taints something. And the problem is we don't cut it out or get it out, and then it grows. Okay? You ever seen the Shia Pets on the commercial? And it does like a fast forward timeline thing, and is right? You guys seen those? Yeah. Are y'all too young, or am I too old? Yeah, I think I just stepped into a oh yeah, Courtney.
What?
I just talked to Courtney. Courtney, you know about what I'm talking about.
Never even heard of this.
The Chia Pet, you know the little. Okay, we got you. Courtney, I know you got me, girl. Okay, but that's kind of that's the visual of what sin can do. If you let sin in, it's not the sin itself, but it's the growing and the existence of it being in your life and being in your mind, that when it grows and compounds, before you know it, what you thought was no big deal, now it's a monster that you're facing every day. Right? Am I in the right room? Can anybody relate to that? So I call these sins because it's not necessary that the act of any one of these, or the missing of the mark of any one of these, that would end your success, but it potentially can, because we let it sit and fester and grow, and it ends up being that monster that actually takes us out. So don't get too too tight in your seat when I list some of these things, because I want to remind you. Sometimes your face tells me everything I need to know. And some of you haven't mastered how to change your face. And when I say certain things that's hitting home, your face lets me know quick. And you're like, oh, no, I can't do that. I just told myself, right? So if you hear something that hits home, it's not about having the guilty conscience that you should focus on, but it's about the correctiveness of what you need to change that's important, right? Are we in the right place here?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to be successful?
Yes.
So when you hear one of these things, if several of these things hit home, do what you got to do in your mind, in your heart, in your head to try to get it out and change it and correct it, right? No one's here to judge anyone or hang anyone on the cross. I'm just here to give you some things that really could be decisive. What's the right word?
Decisive.
All right, decisive. Sorry, see, I don't have the confidence of knowing that. All right. The first one on my list, and there's no sort in order or priority. They're all kind of equal to me. And some of these are going to be and/or. All right? I'm trying to stuff this a little bit. 10 sins of success. Selfishness and greed. Selfishness and greed. We have on a first-hand basis, experience people who have been selfish and greedy. And although they might have some talent, they might have some skill, they might even have some ability to talk and and be able to do certain things. But we see what happens when people are selfish, right? How many people have experienced anybody in your life that is pretty good at certain things, but they're also selfish, right? How many people in here have actually been selfish before? I have, right? Greed is what makes, you ever thought about this? The good robber that robs the bank and gets away with it, we never know who they are because they're good. The ones that are not good are usually the ones we find out about because they got what? Caught. Why do they normally get caught? Because they got greedy. Now, no one should be a robber here. That's not the standard, all right? But my point is that greed, man, no matter what you do in life, no matter what your occupation is, whether it's doing something bad or doing something good, greed always gets the best of everybody, right? And sometimes we can get greedy with our own talent. Sometimes we can get greedy with our own success. Sometimes we can get greedy with our own time, right? Sometimes it's not just monetarily, what we get greedy with, but it's about also our time, our care, our love, our hugs, our conversation. Sometimes we can get greedy and selfish, right? Selfish can be something that we do a lot of and we don't even realize it. You guys know that? Sometimes we can do it. So that's why we got to keep ourselves in check. The next one is laziness. Laziness. To me, laziness equals a lack of preparation or subpar effort. Just because you show up don't mean you're not lazy. You just know how to show up. Just because you give some effort doesn't mean you're not lazy. Some of y'all know people, if not yourself sometimes, that do just enough. Just so you can't be labeled as lazy. But inside you have a lazy mind. Inside your head you got a lazy mentality. And you give a subpar effort. We said this yesterday in our little meeting we had. What you put in is what you get out. Right? If you're wanting a better result in life, what you put in the bank, right, should come back out, right? At least somebody's taking it out. Right. If you invest in certain things and good things, it should grow, right? So you got to put a work effort in. And so many people are lazy, man. The internet, I think, has made people lazy. So listen, one of the 10 sins of success is laziness, guys. How many people would know? How many people know that sometimes you guys walk in to certain situations and you're not prepared? I think that's a form of laziness. You got to be prepared. If you're about to climb Mount Everest and you're not prepared, you're going to die before you even get through the valley. For real. You got to be prepared. And some of you guys show up to work knowing good and well it's Mount Everest today, and you guys wearing flip-flops and beach shorts. You're not even going to make out of the cabin. You're not prepared. Some of you guys go into the home, and you're like, well, I wasn't ready for that. Well, why wasn't you ready? How many people know sometimes you go in the home, you don't know what you're going to get. You might get a guy and a gun in the middle of the room, and you a black man in the middle of San Antonio, Florida. You didn't even know it was San Antonio, Florida. There was only San Antonio, Texas. Remember that guy? Was it San Antonio or Dade City?
Yeah, it was Dade
One of those crazy people there. Ilya came back one day and says, I'm a black guy and this guy had a gun. I think I need to go. This cell ain't worth it. Right? Well, did I get it wrong?
No, you got it right.
And we were all like, where's he at? We got to be prepared, guys. Every day you should take the day so serious that it could give you the best thing that takes you to the next level. But some of you aren't ready for it because you're not prepared. You're just letting the day be what it is. Be prepared. Be sharp. Be ready. The third sin is no respect of time. Man, how many people know? Hey, listen. If you don't have, if people don't respect their own time, how can you expect them to respect your time? Some people treat life like it's a video game, like you've got unlimited lives, unlimited time. That if you die on this level, you'll just redo it again. Right? Some people treat life like a video game. Like you got all the time in the world. If I get tired, I'm just going to put it on pause. Go eat me a pizza. Come back and play it again. So some people do not respect time. They don't respect time. They like. How many people know you don't? How many people in here really know how much time you got?
None of us.
Let me tell you on a deeper level. How much time do we have in this industry? Do we really know? I mean, we can tap into the experts. We can read articles. We can go and do our own research. But do we know how good this industry is going to be? I'm telling y'all the truth now. Y'all getting quiet. But that's the truth. I don't know. Right? That's why I said what I said last Tuesday. We got to get in our moment. We got to step into it as a company, as people, as individuals. We cannot be disrespecting time. Like, time, you ain't nothing. I got plenty of you. Right? And some of us in this room act like you got plenty of time. That's one thing you should know. You don't have a counter of time. All you can do is tell what time it is. You can't tell how much time you got left. That's the difference. Nothing is promised to you tomorrow or in a minute or in an hour. And we just like lollygag around like we had all the time. You know what I mean? That's a sin, in my opinion, of success. When you don't respect time for what it really is. You think you got plenty of it. You act like it at least, right? When you think you got plenty of it, that's dangerous. Another sin is lack of vision. How many people know anybody with lack of vision? They can't see the forest for the trees. Huh? Some of y'all living with people right now that can't see nothing. Some of y'all been like that, right? Lack of vision. Can't see anything. Can't cast vision, can't have vision. And another thing about vision is don't have no focus. Your eyes are one of the most awesome muscles that your body has because it does like 800 things at one time. And one of the things it does is it focuses. Right? At the same time, it looks at all kinds of stuff at the same time. It's got all these different nerves and things that move and operate at the same time. And it's functioning at a high level at the same time. Also, it can capture whatever is in front of it, right? And I got to tell you the same thing about people is that people quit and give up and they lose focus, right? They don't see it and they don't see it enough to believe it, right? Here's how you know you see something enough is when you start believing it, right? Around here, we drink the Kool-Aid and we got the Kool-Aid mustache, right? They can say whatever they want to say out there about us, but we drinking the Kool-Aid all the way, right, James? And we got the mustache to prove it because we all in, right? Am I in a room that's got a group of people that are all in?
All in.
I mean, we have a vision, right? And we have that vision is so clear, right? Here's another thing. I'm going to tell you something about vision. You cannot dominate until it's clear. If it's not clear, you can't dominate. Clarity is a part of vision, right? Don't just get up there and say, well, we're going to do this and do that. It's actually got to be clear how to do it, right? So even it's my job, it's your job as leaders in here. If you got people working with you, along with you, under you, beside you, whatever it may be, you got to make the things they need to get done clear, right? You got to cast vision. And people who have lack of vision, that's a sin of success. Because what happens is they just expect everybody to know what you want to do. And people run around with like chickens with a head cut off and they don't know what to do. They're doing stuff, but they're not actually doing the things that's going to walk us and lead us towards the vision. Some of you guys need to cast better vision in your own home. What you want to have happen, what you want to see your home develop and evolve into, right? You got to cast vision. Some of you guys need to cast more vision for your own personal life.
Truth.
Right? And then the part about it is it's not just casting vision, it's actually focusing on it. And bringing clarity to it, right? And if you don't have the clarity, find someone else who will tell you the clarity, right? Lack of vision. The next thing is, another sin of success is when you don't value people.
Yeah.
Now listen, some people can try to be smart and know they need people, but there's a difference when you know you need people and when you value people. If you're going to be a leader anywhere, and especially here, and you don't value people, you're about to be exposed real quick. And we've seen it happen time and time again, right? If you don't care about people legitimately, you're gonna be standing out fast, because we have a group of people in here who've decided we're going to do that collectively. Now, do we do it perfectly? I didn't say that. I said we're going to care about people collectively, and when you don't, and even when you fake it, you're going to stand out. So you might as well go ahead and start caring about people. And some of y'all need to do some homework and inventory of your own heart and figure out how to start caring about people, because your butt has been cared about by somebody, or you wouldn't be here. Some of y'all have been dead already on the side of the road because they didn't give a god dang about you.
Truth.
Somebody cared about me. That's the reason why I'm here. Maybe it was only one person, but somebody did. If you don't value people, you are going to suffer, and it's going to be a sin that you think you can get away with, but it's going to grow, and it's going to eat you, and it's going to hurt you, and then the next thing you know, what you thought you could do all by yourself, you're going to find out real quick you can't do much by yourself, right? You've got to have people in your life. If you don't like people, I don't know what occupation out there that doesn't require people. Last time I checked, this is what is the dominant species on the earth today. We need just about everything and anything, and so people are required, and not just knowing that you need them, but we need to value them, right? We need to know people enough that when I look at you, James, I should be able to tell a little bit about you, at least to the extent that me and you can work on chipping away at your dream. That's the standard. So don't just know people in their name, right? Don't just know them because they do this or that. Know a little bit about them enough that I can say, hey, me and you are in this together. Now, this may not be your forever job or your forever position, but at least we can work towards chipping away at that dream, James. Let's do that. Are you ready? And then when I see James's face come to work looking a certain way, I know that ain't the regular James, right? When I look, I can the people I work with a lot, right? And I got to get better at working with more people, right? I can tell when something's off by just looking at their face, because I know more than just what's on the surface. I know more than just what's in the title. I know more than just what's in the position, right? I can tell. And because we have what we call relationship, right? And so you should know enough about the people you work with and value them enough in a way that you and them have partnered up to chip away at their dream, right? Their dream. Am I making sense to anybody?
Yes.
A part of that sin is that people know they need people, but they're not willing to bleed with people. Are you willing to bleed with somebody? I'm not talking about just best friends or high school buddies. I'm talking about people that you know that if you and them would work together in such a way that if you got to bleed together, you got to blister together, you know that the value and the worth of what's going to happen afterwards is going to be that much more sweeter. Right? What did we say last week? The goal has changed. I always say this. You can love without leading, but you cannot lead without loving. So if you want to lead some people for real, you got to have some love involved there, some care involved in there, right? People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Well, I'm preaching real good. I'm going to take an offering for myself. I'm going to buy the tape and everything. All right, next one. Self-doubt. None of us that deal with that at all in here. We're macho men and women. We're the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of confidence. Huh? Some of you are like, who is that? And I got to get better references. Or what's the guy that plays what's the hammer guy in Thor? What's his name?
Oh, no, you're thinking of
Chris Hemsworth? You guys are all Chris Hemsworth of confidence in here, right? Who in here has recently, as of in this morning, dealt with self-doubt? Thank you for telling the truth. How many people know self-doubt is at your door every day? Some of y'all have let it in and live rent-free. Matter of fact, you cook at dinner every night. It's sitting in the corner. It was sleeping on the couch, not sleeping in your bed. Come on. Self-doubt. Listen, let me tell you, there's a lot of battles that we can fight. We can physically get in a fight. We can all go out back and get down and get dirty. We can all fight for one another and with one another. If somebody comes in here, we're going to fight, right? We're a family, right? But the greatest battle you ever fight is self-doubt. You know why? Because when you think it's down on the ground and it's about to be done, and you walk away with your arms raised, it's getting back up again. Come on, how many people thought you defeated self-doubt and then it came back again? Yeah. Sometimes it changes clothes and changes his name and changes ID and comes a different way, right? Where did you come from? Self-doubt is there every day, guys. That's the real battle. If you can fix what you know what? Some of you guys were excited that it's a new year, but a new year don't mean nothing if you don't got a new mind. You can go get a new car, and it don't change anything about who you are in between your ears. You can go get a new house, that don't change nothing about your family, right? It might make you excited. It might make you happy. But you still are the same people. If you don't change what's inside your head and how you think, some of you got some stinking thinking. You heard that before, right? Yeah. We from the same background, right? Some of y'all got some stinking thinking. If we started playing tapes of what's in your mind, we'd all be scared, number one. But number two, we would all be sad. Because some of the things that y'all play over and over again in between your ears is horrifying that you think about yourself that way. The reason why what people say about you affects you so bad is because you agree inside your head. You don't want to say it because you're confident, you're strong. You walk around like macho man and woman. Especially in here, you're like, everybody's got to be strong because Frank says to be strong, so I can't be weak. I can't shed light to who I really am because then I'll stand out in a bad way. The honest truth is, why does it affect you? If you really know who you are, who cares what they say on Facebook about you? Who cares what they text to you? And who cares what your cousins and family say about you? Who cares about all that stuff? You know why you care? Because you believe it. It's something you have in your hand. The greatest battle you're going to fight is in between your ears. It's what you believe. Self-doubt is a sin of success. And people are never going to be truly successful because they let that sin, which is a little thing, grow and grow and grow and take them out. Stop letting self-doubt live rent-free. Make it pay. It's time for you to pay, my man. I don't mean your self-doubt, James, but you know what I'm saying. But if James was self-doubt, you got to pay. If you're going to stay here, if you're going to creep up on me, if you're going to give me a hard time, you're going to pay. How do we make self-doubt pay? Huh? Prove it wrong. What's another way? Come on, talk to me. This is a talk back church in here. Come on. Talk to me. Don't listen to it. Is that enough?
Say positive.
You know how you make it pay? You do the opposite of what it's saying. Take action. Come on now. We preaching good now. Third word, fourth row. Somebody give her a high five. I try to count quick. I can't count quick. How do you make self-doubt pay? For being in your head, living in your life, talking to you all the time. How do you make it pay? Well, you take action. You do the opposite of what it's saying. If it's telling you can't be somebody and do something, then you do the opposite.
Do it. That's
right.
If it's telling you to sit at home and sit on your hands and you won't never make it, then you prove it wrong by making it.
Yep.
If it's telling you that you need to sit there and stay in darkness and live there for a while because nobody really cares for you and loves you, then you do the opposite. Oh, you trying me, self-doubt? You trying me like that? I'm about to bring 4 or 5 friends. We about to gang on you. Hey. Some of y'all need to do that. You need to make it pay. It's been living in your house, in your head for too long, and you guys high-five each other every time you see each other. I see you. I know you keep telling me I'm no good. I'm telling the truth in here. Come on. Mm-hmm. Self-doubt lives in my head too, guys. I'm not better than you at all. But I strangle that rascal. Hey, I'm telling you right now. Hey, me and you going to the mountain, and only one of us coming back. Hey, I'm telling you, you guys may think I'm crazy, but this is the real deal. We going on the mountain, and when one of us comes back, it's going to be me. And if you want to come on back, come on and get some more. I'm making it pay, Mike Tibbs. Every time I hear that voice, I get excited. And I'm telling you right now, it's a habit you can create in your body and in your mind. If you react to what people say negatively and what people say in your head and what your self-doubt says to you, you can actually get yourself to react in a way, right? And now when I hear something, when, we got a joker that created a bunch of Facebook accounts just to tell all of you guys how bad I am. I'm serious. I'm excited. Somebody's making Facebook for me. Come on, man. I'm legit. I'm serious. How many people have heard from that guy? Anybody in here?
Yep.
A couple of y'all? This joker's done made fake Facebook pages, inboxing people all kinds of trash, right? About me, Mike. Little old me from Zephyrhills. You don't know, I'm about to make it. Hey, y'all laugh, but I'm serious. I get excited about that stuff. Don't get me wrong. At the beginning, I'm like, this, blankety blank, mother flower. We're going to buy a shirt. Mother flower. It's going to have a flower on there. Everybody's like, don't steal my idea. Me and you into together. Partner 50-50?
I want one.
My point is, guys, when I first read that or hear somebody saying something, I'm just like you. Self-doubt speaks. It gets loud. It gets all, we told you, Fred, you ain't nobody. You just from Zephyrhills, Day City. Who the hell knows where that is other than on a bottle of water? Juan the other day says, I just realized that what I've been... Even the genius can miss it every now and then. The whole time I've been drinking this water from here, I don't want to drink another bit of this. I done seen what kind of people live here. He almost threw that bottle quick. This whole time? Seriously, when I, at first, I'm just like anybody. The self-doubt is loud, it's boastful, it's strong. It makes me feel like I should be believing what it's saying, right? But now I have created something in my head and in my heart, and I say, you know what? Woo! Ha! Hey, you know what that means? I'm on my way. Come on, baby. I'm on my way. Somebody say I'm on my way. If you're making Facebook accounts to tear me down, I am on my way. The elevator's going up. Right? See you as you go down. Bye. I mean, serious. I know y'all think this is crazy, right? I know this is Kool-Aid with Kool-Aid mustache and everything. It's deep in it and it's crazy talk. But that's what you got to do. It's funny how people will believe so much garbage about themselves, but when you tell them something positive, they look at you like you're crazy. Your face look at me when I tell you, hey, Sarah, you about to do something big with your life. And you're like, okay. Come on now. Do you believe it? You about to do something big with your life, and your face tells me everything. Because I'm telling you, body language tells on you guys all the time. All right, let's move on to the next one. I know this is good. I could stay there for an hour. The next one is lack of resourcefulness. I practiced that one a few times, Robin, before my tongue tripped over my teeth.
Did perfect.
You know what? People think they have to have resources to do stuff, right? So you know what people do? When they get this great idea, they go check their bank account. Or some of y'all know your bank account real good, so you ain't got to check it. You think about your bank account. Right? When you guys get a good idea, let's go do this. Let's go make this happen. Let's go create a business. Let's go create this or do this. And you think, well, I ain't got the money to do that. Who the heck am I? Right? Come on. Can anybody in here confess that that's what you do? You think about it in that way? Why y'all doing the elbow arms? Come on. Give me the big one. Come on. Think about it. The first thing you think about when you get an idea is how much you don't have. But listen, I'm telling you, the first thing we do when we think about doing something we've never done is we check our bank account. We check our resources. And we realize that we can't do it because we lack resources. The problem is not the lack of resources. The problem is the lack of resourcefulness. I'm telling you the truth. The problem is not the lack of resources. Oh, no, I'm going to do this, Courtney. This is hard. Sorry. Some of y'all don't even have to do that. Y'all know you ain't got none. Counting the zeros quick. Huh? Listen, when I was sleeping in my car, I knew what I didn't have. It was evident every day. Even before that, when I was struggling in life, I knew what I didn't have, right? But I'll tell you right now, creativity is not real creativity until you find a way to go over the mountain, to go around it, to climb on it, and sometimes even drill through it. That's real creativity. Don't tell me all this creativity that people want to do. Oh, I painted a painting, and I posted it on Instagram. Buy it, because I know how to put up a store quick. I know how to open up a PayPal account. That's not creativity. Come on. Like, it's a form of creativity, don't get me wrong. But what's real creativity, right? When you figure out how to get it done with nothing. With nothing. It's not a lack of resources, guys. Some of you guys want to do something right now in this company. And the first thing you do is submit a purchase order. Hopefully Frankie approves this. Right, John? I need a remote. Go get a remote. God dang. We got to have more resourcefulness, guys. If you want to be successful, when you think about your lack of resources, you are actually letting sin be in your head about being successful. You got to be resourceful, right? That means you might have to pull from here and there. You might have to collect some people and some thoughts. You might have, when I was sleeping in my car, James, you know what I would do? I would go to Barnes and Nobles, and I would sit there and read the books for free and put them back. Right? And I was trying to learn something or get inspired even when I couldn't even afford a page in the book. I was trying to be resourceful, right? Next thing. Not strategic. That's a sin of success, guys. So many people try to do things and just do them and not think through them, not plan it out, not be strategic, right? You know how many Facebook messages I get? I got the team. I get so many. I have a team of people who check them for me now. And people say all the time, don't they, Christina and John, how are you doing all this stuff? Be careful. Don't do all this stuff. You know what I mean? How are you wanting to invest in people and open up restaurants and do this and do that? Don't they? Almost every day. They're scared for me. You know what I say? I'm aggressive, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not just aggressive. I'm strategically aggressive. And a lot of us are not going to find success because you're not strategic. Right? You got to be strategic. Believe it or not, and this is going to be a big sell for some of you, I bought that Corvette strategically. Honestly, I did. I didn't need it. Lord knows I can barely fit in it. I was telling the video crew this morning, I says, I bought this car and I test drove it with the top off. And after I signed the papers and everything, I thought, I didn't even try this with the top on. What if I don't fit? Can I take this back? Well, I can fit. Barely, but I can fit.
Oh my God.
Hey, y'all just jealous because y'all can't steal your steering wheel with your belly like I can.
There you go. Wonderful trick.
Hey, that's a gift. I'm being resourceful.
That's right.
Oh my God.
But listen, I did. I seriously bought that strategically. Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to give people a quick insight of success, how people think? They do. Honestly. And listen, I wanted a Corvette at the same time. So, desire, strategic, kind of married each other. And I'm like, oh, we finna do this. Right? But it was strategically, right? Because at the end of the day, when we do videos, when we post on social media, when I talk to people and they see a Corvette out there, it's kind of hard to, a brand new one, by the way, it's kind of hard to say that somebody ain't doing something good in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, I could use it for myself, desire, and I like it, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, there's a ROI on that. And I spent a certain amount of money to get that car, but that car is going to help me make more money than I put involved in it. So I got to tell you the honest truth is, right? And me and Robin talked about this, right? Right before I did it.
Right.
And I says, hey, there's an ROI on this. And here's what it is. So I did do it strategically. Listen, I've owned a car business and I could have really any car I wanted. And this was the first time that I thought, hey, I'm going to get this car because I want it, but I also am going to get it because I want to be strategic with it. And I want people to know without asking a question and doubting, when they see a brand new 2018 Corvette, somebody's doing something here. That don't just happen. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm being strategic with it. Now, y'all might not need to be strategic like that.
That means it.
But you need to be strategic about your life and about what you want to accomplish. Don't just do stuff to do it. Do it because it makes sense in the plan that you have for your life. Set yourself up strategically. I know my man, Steve Hopper, him and his wife bought the RV, and they haven't paid one dime towards the payment because they have set themselves up strategically, and they rent it out once a month. And therefore, even though they have a RV that's worth over $100,000, they haven't paid one payment because they rent it out. And so basically, they got an RV for free. That's strategic. You got to be strategic with your life, guys. Don't buy any clothes. Buy clothes that are going to get you strategically in a position so you can be successful. Right? Don't just do things just to do it, just because someone else does it or you want to do it. Think about it. Be strategic in your conversation. Be strategic in your thoughts. Be strategic in your days, right? So many people are not strategic. They just do things, and they're like, well, we'll see if this sticks. And nothing sticks. And if it does stick, it ain't supposed to stick, right? Well, we can get talking about sticky. Next, unwilling to adapt. Woo! How many people have come into our organization and we already know quick they ain't gonna make it? Because the first thing they complain about is WhatsApp.
Oh, God.
If you let WhatsApp beat you, you ain't gonna make it.
That's right. A place for you.
I had a dude chase me down and find me in the front of a warehouse and tell me all of his accolades in 2 seconds of how he's done this and that in solar and this and that in solar. And he was listing all this stuff. And I looked behind him, and he was driving a beat-up Beamer from like 1920. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a believer in people, okay? But then he started talking about, we need to do this and you need to do that. And some of it actually made some sense. But then he told me how bad and how much he disliked WhatsApp, and I knew right then he ain't gonna make it. If you can't get over some changes and tweaks and adapt yourself in environments that you've got to adapt yourself in, then you're not going to make it. You're not going to be successful. And when you sit there and do the opposite of adapting and start complaining about everything that's changing, you're actually opening up yourself wide open to all the things that success says it's not. Hey, over here, I'm negative. Right? Instead, think about adapting and trying something out, because what you might be missing, you won't get because you're sitting there too worried about complaining about it. It's making you uncomfortable. It's stretching you. It's making you use a tool or technology that you've never used before, right? Let me tell you something. Me and Mary flew across the country, and we paid a pretty good dollar to go to this conference. And one of the major points was that he discovered WhatsApp. A multi-million-dollar company, and this guy, I'm like, dude, did we pay for this? Oh, come over here just to learn about just discover WhatsApp 3 weeks ago. We've been doing it for 3 years. I'm serious, didn't I have him? Are you serious? I almost got up and went to lunch. For real. My point is that's how good that is, right? I mean, the tool is not the perfect tool. It's not something that, we're going to like praise about, but it's a tool to communicate. And if you can't get over a little bit of WhatsApp and adjust to it, and technology and opportunity and adapt, some of you guys walk into a home and won't adapt to nothing. I am going to talk the same way I've always talked. I am not moving another inch any other direction than I've always moved. I am going to say the same thing the same way and wonder why I have the same results. I am a robot. I know how to be successful because this is what success looks like. Bullshit. Huh? You got to be able to adapt. That's the truth. You got to be able to adapt. Now listen, but then the other crowd will say, well, Frank, I thought you told us to be true to ourselves. Oh, here we go. I'm not asking you to change you. I'm asking you to put on different camouflage so you can live. I'm asking you sometimes to wear different armor so you can fight. I'm asking you sometimes to be more stealth. I'm asking you sometimes to do the Matrix. I ain't doing it because if I do, y'all need to help me out. I mean, you got to be nimble and you got to be flexible and you got to adjust. I'm not asking you to move from who you are. I'm asking you to do what it takes to be able to maneuver yourself and position yourself so that you can be more successful. Sunday, we saw Tom Brady won his 6th Super Bowl. Love him, hate him, not like him. At the end of the day, you got to respect success. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I do respect success. And let me tell you something. If you pull up his picture from when he was a rookie quarterback to what he's now, in some ways, he looks better. Right? And one of the things he contributes to his long-term success, he's almost 42 years old, guys. 42-year-old quarterbacks don't really make it that much, right? He's not only playing, he's playing at a high level. 6 Super Bowls. Right? And when they asked him at the end of the game, they said, well, isn't this enough? No, he's going to keep going. Right? Just so you guys know, his goal is not Super Bowls. His goal is to have the most Super Bowls. I don't know if y'all know that, but you're like, God dang, the Patriots again. They're not going to leave, and he's not going to quit or retire until he has the most Super Bowls. I just want to let y'all know that. So what has he had to do? How long he's been in the league? 18 years? 19 years? 18, 19 years he's been in the league. Do you think he stayed the same over that period of time to be successful? Huh? Do you think he's done the exact same routine he started off with? Matter of fact, he contributes to a lot of his success because he's brought in a coach that helps him stretch his actual body. You would think he's still training and running hard and doing all this stuff. He does some of that, but the most of the things he does is he's got a guy that comes and stretches him out and makes him what? More flexible. Because when he gets hit, the body and the muscles, they react because they're trying to prevent injury. And a lot of times, that's what actually causes the injury. And so when he gets hit and he falls to the ground, matter of fact, I'll tell you right now, in football, the worst part of getting hit is not the hit itself, it's the ground that you hit. And when you get hit on a regular basis, by the way, he doesn't get hit that much because they're strategic. I can go all day on that too. But when he does get hit, he hits the ground and his body has now been adjusted so that his body can respond in a way that doesn't make him want to go retire and say, I've had enough of all this craziness at 42 years old. I mean, he literally said he's coming back for more. When you ask him what his favorite ring is, he says, the next one. My point is, how do you survive, much less be successful, for that long of time being hit and being knocked around and doing what he does, right? Is he's adjusted. He's literally getting more flexible. right? Another thing he does too is that there was a report before the Super Bowl came out that he has left on the table almost $100 million of contract money he could have easily got because of his name and his fame. But he decided to be flexible and sacrifice so that the team, because the team has a cap. They can only spend so much money every year. The NFL limits how much they can spend. So he said to his team, I'm going to be flexible and take less now so that we can win. And guess what? At the end of the day, watch and see when he does retire. You think the check's going to stop?
No.
I'm sure he can show up anywhere and say something for 5 minutes and get a couple $5 million just to do it. Why? Because he chose to sacrifice and be flexible. Some of you guys are so robotic and do the same damn routine and expect a difference in your life. You're not flexible. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's called insanity. You have to adjust. Well, I've always talked like this. Now you know why you're alone. Or should be alone. This is how I was raised. Well, you were raised wrong. Come on now. Anybody in here with me? Is this quiet? Are y'all quiet for a reason? Y'all falling asleep?
No.
This is the real deal stuff. I'm telling you straight up stuff that you got to adapt. You got to change. Sometimes you got to say something different. Say it a different way. Sometimes you got to wear something different. You got to look different. Sometimes you got to act different. Sometimes you got to have different people. You have to adjust. If you don't adjust, it'll be like sin. It'll creep in and you'll think it's no big deal. But the next thing you know, you'll wonder why you're unsuccessful. Because you let it be something that you should have been attacking and saying, hey, I need to be strategic. But not only should I be strategic, I got to adjust. Because sometimes I got to be flexible. Right? When we flew over to San Diego, and when I was booking the ticket, I started having anxiety. Because I'm like, airplane, 6 hours, all they're going to give us peanuts, That gives me anxiety. Peanuts, that's all I'm getting for 6 hours. So I started getting anxiety because of a long trip, right? The other reason why I got anxiety, how many people have been on an airplane and experienced turbulence? Anybody in here? Tell the truth now. Everybody's in the truth mode right now. How many people, when you first hit turbulence, you kind of freaked out for a minute? Tell the truth. Come on, y'all. Y'all ain't big, tough guys. Everybody in here, right? Every time? Well, I was trying to be nice, okay? When you first hit a turbulence, sometimes it's unexpected, right? And you kind of, right? And it kind of makes your stomach curl in a knot for a minute. Why does your stomach curl in a knot? Because I think I'm about to die, right? Tell the truth. Why does your body react to something that's just for a second? Because what? It feels like you're falling, right? Hello, we're in the air. So we kind of are strategically falling. It's called flying. All right, I'll catch up with this crowd in a minute. Let's get it. But listen, when you're in an airplane and you feel turbulence, what happens? You get scared for a moment. Maybe it's only a split second, but you get scared for a moment because what does it do? It magnifies the fear that you have in your head anyways, right? So when I was booking the ticket to go to San Diego, I had two options to get there. Either fly and get there in about 5 or 6 hours or drive. And I thought to myself, Mary will never let me live out of the state of Florida, so we might as well fly. So if I'm going to die, I might as well fly. Might as well do it in the air, right? She was like, y'all, you need to shut up. Talking too much. So turbulence, this is the options that you have, right? As a captain of an airplane, you have two options when you hit some turbulence, right? Right? You should think about this. This is strategically placed out there for you guys to think about this so you can put it in your own life. When you hit some turbulence in your life, in your business, right? And we've had a slow start to January, right? To the year. So we've had some turbulence, right? Am I in the right room?
Yes.
We've had some turbulence, right? You have two options when you hit turbulence in the air, right? You can adjust your altitude, right? Or you can just get through it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's really the only two options you have. I mean, what do you want the captain to do? Turn off the engines and just coast? Let go of the handle to see what happens? It's funny because some of y'all do that in your life. Sometimes things hit you so hard, you're like, I'm just going to let go. What are you doing? That's when you grab the handle more. That's when you don't panic, but that's when you strategically do what you got to do to reply. You know what? Some of the best things you can ever do in life, a true test to a champion is how he or she responds to turbulence, to challenges. If you want to know what you're made of, go ahead and invite a storm to show up in your house. And how you respond is going to be the key to how this thing is going to play out. You guys know that? One of the keys to you knowing where you stand in success is how you respond to hard times and challenges and setbacks. Your response is not always going to be fighting. Sometimes it's relevant. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to get in that stance. Sometimes your response has got to be, just being quiet. Sometimes your response is being patient and not freaking out, right? It's good to be in an airplane where the captain can tell you ahead of time when you're about to hit some turbulence. The captain on that plane, we hit some turbulence, and he was smart enough to tell all of us we're about to hit some turbulence. And he got on the microphone and he says, hey, just want to let y'all know. And by the way, how you say things is key too. If he would have went on there and be like, we about to hit some turbulence. Hang on. Woo! If that joker would have did it, woo! I would have been, oh God, get me out of here. Homeboy had some extra in his drink before he got on there. You know them jokers do that. Y'all seen that movie Sully? Them jokers drink like crazy. Or no, that was the one with Denzel. Denzel rolled alcoholic airplane. If you let me catch you drink, I'll be looking at them captives in the airport and everything. You better walk straight to the tunnel. Walk straight to the tunnel. Don't stop. Don't look both ways.
I've seen Flight.
But if he would have went, woo! This thing is going to get rough! We would have freaked out. Where's our parachute at? We would have been fattening ourselves and everything. But he got on there and he says, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, we're about to... First he told us San Diego's looking beautiful. I'm like, how's that joker know? He ain't even there yet. San Diego's looking beautiful. It's sunny. It's beautiful. The air is good. He gives the weather report. And then he says, just so you know, I'm going to leave the seatbelt sign on. We're going to experience a little bit of turbulence. Might get a little bumpy, but just hang on. Everything's going to be fine. And guess what? Only thing is, it wasn't a little bit of turbulence. It was like driving down one of these dirt roads over here in Summer Hills. And that's what I started thinking. Dirt roads, Summer Hills, dirt roads, Summer Hills, dirt roads, Summer Hills. I'm just going to do something stupid I shouldn't be doing right now, skipping school. That's what I was thinking. All right. So anyways, it was good that he told us ahead of time, right? So it's good to have people in your life that can help you see what's about to happen. Sometimes you are so blind to your own situation, and when you're about to hit some turbulence, some of you guys get in the car and knowing good and well the car is going to wreck, but you still get in it anyways. And we're sitting there begging you, don't do it! I got to go. I got to drive. I got to do this, right? Some of you guys are literally and figuratively getting in situations that you shouldn't get into, and yet when we're trying to tell you turbulence is on its way, right? You still ignore it. But I want to tell you, you got to have people in your life. Matter of fact, I was reading about turbulence, right? What causes turbulence, by the way? Anybody know?
Pockets.
It's a dramatic shift of airstream. Did you guys know that? What causes turbulence is when you're going one way and the air that was going with you and you were going with that air decides it's going to change. Boom! And that's what causes it. The reason why some of you guys are going through turbulence right now is so things have to change and need to change, and now you're scared to death because you think you're going down. The honest truth is, the beautiful part about being in this company right here is that we have traffic controllers that are communicating back and forth to our leaders, hey, what we're doing right here, and they're saying, hey, just so you know, you're about to hit some turbulence. Y'all should get excited because we're all in this together, right?
Come on now.
Thank God I got somebody back home. Thank God I got my brother Ilya and Robin, who are my air traffic controllers. Yo, Frank, don't do that. You're about to get crazy. Things are going to get crazy. Or they might even tell me, hey, slow down a little bit. There's a turbulence up ahead. I'm telling you right now, if you're experiencing turbulence in your life, personally, professionally, and of course this business, we kind of started off slow, it's a good sign that where you got to go is going to be worth it. Right? Because what are our options when we face turbulence? Change altitude or get through it. And what do we do around here when we experience turbulence? We get through it.
Keep going.
We might need to adjust, like I told you. We got to adjust. We might change altitudes and we might change directions a little bit. We might have to say, hey, the focus shouldn't be 100 million. It needs to be 100 million people. But at the end of the day, we still got to go what we're called to do. We still have an assignment, and the landing spot that we're going is still on the target, on the radar. All right? So my point is, right now, you've got to understand that life is going to have turbulence. But it's not the turbulence that kills you. It's the panicking and the anxiety of the response to it. And it takes you off kilter. It keeps you unfocused. Some of the things that have happened in your life, you guys have let it create the other sins that creeped into your life. And now you wonder why you're not successful. The last one, and I think it's one of the most important one, is you're not coachable. I'm going to get real serious for a minute. Some of you are in here right now not even paying attention because you're disrespecting my time. And I can't expect you to respect your own time because you don't respect mine. And this is one of the problems you have because you're not coachable. You might tell me to my face, hey, I'll do it. I'll listen to it. But at the end of the day, you're not really taking it and doing anything with it. Do you guys know by now, for those of you who've been in here for more than a minute, that I want you guys to be successful? If you don't know that, there's something wrong with you, not me. And if we need to remind you, I don't mind setting up a meeting so we can remind you. But most of the time, y'all want to have a meeting is to get a pay raise. Let's tell the truth. But when I want you to do something more for yourself to be more successful so the pay raise is clear, y'all look at me and say, hey, I'm going to do it, but turn around and don't do shit. And wonder why you're suffering in your own crap half the time. Because you're not coachable. You ain't going to make it. I don't care what you did before you got here. You're not going to make it. You're going to suffer in your own mess because you ain't willing to change one thing that I tell you to change. Oh, Frank, I know you care about us. No, you don't, you liar. No, you don't. Because you ain't listening. Well, I think it should be done different. You ain't even doing that. You don't believe nothing but what's in your head. Remember the tape that we talked about that everybody plays? You ain't believing nothing but what's in your own head. And by the way, what's in your head is messed up too, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be performing what you keep reading and playing in your head. You're scared to death. You're a weenie when it comes to actually facing success. Oh, it's quiet in here now. Oh, but I know Frank cares about us. No, you don't. No, you don't. Come on, tell the truth. I've told some of you guys in here some strategic things that I know for firsthand will help you. And here's why I know, because I did exactly the opposite. And some of you guys have really disrespected my ability to want to care about your success. And then you sit here and wonder why success is far from you. Listen, a lot of you, if not all of you in here, have the ability to create something on your own. You're that talented. You're that capable. Some of you, I could sit down and create a business with you, and we could do a lot of great things. I believe in you in that way. Right? I'm not saying we're going to do that, but I'm saying that's what I got to be strategic, right? By the way, one of the sins has nothing to do with not being savage, right? Right, Jonathan? We got to be savages. But my point is, that's how talented all of you guys are. That's how capable you guys are. That's how much I believe in you, right? Because you guys have that ability. But talent isn't enough. I don't care what you did before you got here. I don't even care what you can do right now. What I do care about is if you're willing to take something that someone tells you and takes the time to give you and try to translate into you, and you take it serious enough that says, hey, I'm going to do this.
Amen.
And if it fails, then you can blame the person that told you if you want. But I guarantee you, most of the time it won't. Here's why. Because it's something that probably I did or didn't do. And I'm telling you, because I know if you do it, you will avoid a lot more pain and a lot more turbulence. Right? Just so you know, some turbulence out there takes airplanes down. Some of y'all are like, I ain't never flying again. It's rare, but it happens. Some of you guys are experiencing turbulence right now, and now it's not no one's fault but your own, because you continue to ride and go in that direction, and you can continue to refuse to change altitudes, and you continue to refuse the captain's voice who's telling you everything's going to be all right, but you need to go ahead and keep the seatbelt on. Don't keep walking up and changing things and moving things and trying to get something out of the backpack. You don't need none of that. Sit your butt down and shut up and be quiet. Some of you guys need to think about that. You won't even take the smallest, the simplest instruction that we're telling you. And some of you, I know we've told you some things, and you have taken it for granted. Oh, Frank's just telling me something because he thinks he knows it all. I guarantee you some of y'all thought that. Because why? Your face is telling me everything I need to know. I know Robin has told some of you some things to do, and you thought, well, she's just telling us that because she's our boss. She's supposed to tell us something to do. No, she cares about you and your success. And sometimes that success is about what happens at home too. Are we perfect? No. But we care about your success. When are you guys going to be serious about your own success? Is show up to your own success. And what I mean by showing up is saying, hey, I'm coachable. I don't know enough. I'm coachable. Frankie Lane is coachable. I'm paying people to tell me how I'm not good and how I can be better. I need to go see a doctor still. I need someone to help me out. I need people to fix me. I got problems and issues, right? And if I'm serious about my success, I'm having somebody tell me how I need to get better every day. And that's the real deal, guys. It's the real deal. I'm not sitting here just saying that so I can say that. I literally pay someone every week to tell me how I'm better, could be better, or how I could get better. I'm coachable, guys. And I don't get it right every time. Some of you guys need to get serious about being coachable and being flexible and being strategic. Some of you guys need to cut out some of the sin in your life. And I don't mean, the moral sin exactly. Maybe some of that too. But my point is the 10 sins of success we're letting live and inhabit our lives in our heads. And then we scratch our heads and say, why are we not successful? We're not resourceful. We just count what we don't have instead of what we could do, right? We're lazy, we're selfish, we don't respect time, we lack vision. Sometimes we don't act like we value people. Self-doubt is a battle we lose every day. Huh? Come on, this is good stuff right here, guys. This is stuff that if you live by this and understand how to keep away from, you will be successful. You will position yourself in a situation where you can excel. Sometimes you don't know what to do, what to say, how to do it, where to go, what place to go, what book to read, and somebody can tell you how to do that. That's why you got to have good people in your life. But you're never going to have good people in your life if you don't value people yourself. Giving someone a job is a way to value someone, but it's not all the ways to value people. You got to tell them and help them and hug them and love them and cry with them and bleed with them, yell at them and let them yell back at you, right? All those things are a part of value people, right? If I yell at Sarah Ann, I seriously doubt, although she might be hurt for a moment, that she's going to leave and quit because we got a relationship, right? She knows I might have had a bad day, or I might be hitting the target that made me say it in such a way. That makes sense, right? So we got to have a relationship, guys, right? And so my point is, guys, I'm sharing this stuff with you because I don't necessarily get paid by saying any of this to you, right? Or not at least directly. I'm saying this because I care about your success. I want you guys to beat my door down because you know you're hitting it out of the park and it's just right for you to get compensated for it. But some of you guys only set the meeting when you need something to change for your life and you think that's the only way. Oh, Frank will pay me more, my life will be better. No. You know what's going to get better? Is when you change what's up in here. It's a new year, but some of you guys don't have a new mind yet still. And I'm not saying you should do it on your own. Some of you all need help, and we all need help, like I just said. We need help. We need to reach out and push each other and help each other. But let's do this together, right? Let's build this company in 2019. If we need to reinvent ourselves here, let's do it. If we need to talk different, change things, let's do it. All things are open to discussion. But some of y'all don't want to have a real discussion. Because as soon as you suggest change, guess what? I'm going to suggest change too. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Right? Am I hitting home on any of these points this morning?
Yes.
Listen, it's time to grind. And I don't mean just showing up and being busy. It's time to shine in a way where we can take our lives in this business to the next level. And we can do it. We have a very awesome set of people in this room right here. We can do a lot of things that most people can't do, right? The other thing we need to be realizing is that when we sign up for a big task, like helping 100 million people, all hell has signed up to come against it.
Yep. That's right.
As soon as you decide to go through and go to places you've never been, like San Diego, like I did, you're going to have some turbulence. Matter of fact, it's almost impossible not to experience turbulence on a 6-7 hour flight. We are on a 6 or 7 hour flight and there's turbulence and we're all freaking out. We signed up for this. When you say you want to make 100 million, help 100 million people, when you say we want to do things other people want to do, guess what comes with it? Turbulence. Guess what comes with it? Storms. And sometimes you guys are going through storms and you're trying to be secretive about it. It's easy to help somebody out when they're going through a storm you know about because you can hand them an umbrella. But how many people have gone through secret storms? You don't want nobody to know about it. Some of you guys are going through secret storms right now. But guess what the beautiful part about a storm is? Like an eagle, on the other side of that storm, what's on top of that storm will take you to places you've never been. If you understand there is a place in a destination of where you're going, and sometimes the storm is what helps you get there. So listen, I know you're fighting everything in you to try to even make it sometimes to work and put on your face and literally show up and be something that you know we're asking you to be. And I know some of you guys struggle with that. But at the end of the day, go ahead and get up, and not only just get up and show up, but put your best foot forward. And think about what you can do, right? Don't be the lazy person that has that mentality. Go all the way. Right? Don't hold back and expect everybody else to crown you king, and at the end of the day, all you've done is gave us breadcrumbs. Feed everybody and give everybody all you got, and the crown will just come with it. That's what you got to do. You can't hold back. We got to give it all. The reason why this company has seen the success we've seen is because a lot of people that we started off with, some didn't, some did. Oh well, right? Or whatever the saying is. But those who decided, right, gave everything. Everything, right? We gave everything we could. And that's why we're where we're at today. I'm looking for a group of people who are willing to do the same thing. Anybody in here willing to do that? Now listen. You may say, well, how's my role significant to doing and helping this company grow? It's significant. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be in this room. I don't care where you see yourself on the ladder of position in this company, whether it's what you would consider on the low end of the ladder or the high end of the ladder. If you're in this room, if you're in this company, it's significant. Trust me. I don't want to spend no more than we have to, right? You're here for a reason and a purpose. And guess what? Here's the other part about it. Where you start is not necessarily where you'll end up. But if you're always focused on where you're at right now, then you're going to be hung up. And then everybody around you, or you're going to look at everybody around you, and you're going to have that envy. You're going to be thinking about what they're doing instead of what you should be doing. And guess what? Your focus is going to be off. And we all know when you lack vision, it's a sin of success, right? See the vision for your own position right now in this company. You say, well, I'm in this position right now, but I can see myself in this position down the road. I can see, if I can just do good where I'm at right now, and I mean, I master it, I kill it, I hit it out of the park. Wherever I am right now, I'm going to make the most of it. And here's my standard. My standard is so high that I can train someone to do this even better than me. That's my standard. this is not enough for me, right? You guys should have that mentality. You should say to yourself, I'm ready to grow. But grow where you're at. And I promise you, it's not hard for us to recognize some people that grow because they just come out, right? You know what I'm saying? But some people want to artificially grow and jump ahead and try to skip and try to cheat people out of other things, right? You ain't gonna make it doing that, right? I promise you, I don't think we do a bad job of recognizing where people need to go, right? We always are looking for the next leader up, okay? How many people in here are ready to take it to the next level? I'm gonna make a copy of this, right? I know you guys took notes, and that should be for your own personal note keeping. But I'm gonna make a copy of this so you guys have it. Anybody want it?
Yes.
All right. And so I want you guys to use this for yourself, of course, but also for your team. And remember, when you deliver this, it's all in the delivery. Don't sit there and say they're all sinful, right? Right? Let them know this is just a way to think about it. That sin, any type of sin in your life, whether it's for success or for religious purposes or whatever, if you let it grow is when it really has a bad detrimental effect. Okay? And that's when it can cause things to die.